Okay, so I want us to learn how to cut female trouser. Now, you must have been seeing other videos I make or what my teachings on male trouser. So if you have followed the procedure of the plumb line method, you will understand or you will get to understand this better. Now, I believe you all must have known that by now, what you should be measuring is or are the waist, the hips, the lap, the knee, the ankle, and the trouser length. So these areas must be measured from your customer, and the measurements must be in line with how free or how fitted your customer might want his or her outfit to be. So in today's video, we are dealing on female trouser, and we're going to use the type of trouser they call the plumb line method or the gradient line method. What does it mean? The trouser that has a center line that demarcates the four measurements into two equal parts. Now, other methods I use, I don't put the center line. I just make the markings and it still comes out well. But on a female trouser, these are the things you must do. And the only difference from a female trouser is that to get a crouch, you must divide the hip by 4 and minus 1 inch from it, irrespective of the person's height. The hip and the crouch are in line, unlike the male, where you consider the person's height, while you divide by 4, and if it's a tall person, you minus half inch to get a crouch. But for female, you must minus 1, whether a big person or a small person, whether tall or short. Their hip and their height goes hand in hand. And the only thing different here as well is that in female, they have the high waist trouser and they have a normal regular waist trouser. So when you're making a trouser for a female, you must also make sure you ask her or try to know what she wants. Is it going to be a high waist trouser or a normal waist trouser? High waist trouser simply means a trouser that is touching the navel or before the navel. Anything above the real waist has become a high waist trouser. And in that case, how do you get a crouch? The crouch of a high waist trouser is gotten by hips over 4 plus extra 2 to 3 inches. That's, for example, let's assume that we have a customer that wants to make 2 trousers, maybe one normal waist and one high waist, and her hips is 40, for example. The normal waist trouser will be 40 over 4 minus 1, so the crouch should be 9 for the normal waist trouser. Then the other one that has a high waist will be 40 over 4 plus 3 inches or 2 inches, depending on how high it is for the client.
So the nine will be the crouch.
The 9 is the crouch, yes. So the other
Plus
one,
3.
it plus. No, you won't minus 9, no. You won't minus
Okay,
1.
okay, you know, man.
Yeah, use the whole number.
Use
40
the
over
10.
4 plus 3 or plus 2. That's either 12 or 13 for the crouch, for the high waist.
Okay.
It all depends on how high as well the high waist goes. You know, they have a high waist that goes like 4 inches, 3.5, and so on and so forth. But the regular high waist, 2.5, 3 inches is ideal. So now, this trouser we're making is going to be a regular waist trouser. And the length of my client is 38, right? So we measure 38 inches this way. So once you mark it this way, you mark it 2 times this way. You have that 8 inches here, and then connect the line as shown. Connect the line as shown. Then the next thing you will do is to get her crouch. So from the measurement I have, her hips is 44. 44 by 4 is 11. Minus 1 is 10. So her crouch is 10. Are we together? For a normal waist. But had it been she's making a high waist, her crouch will be 44 divided by 4. That's 11 plus 3, which is 13 plus 14. That if you are adding 3, 14. If it's extra 2, it's 13, right? So now in that case, you don't mark the 13 from here this way. No. What then do? You consider the band measurement. If the band you're going to use is 2 inches, Because normally high west is always a big band, like it has a big band on the west region. So if it's 2 inches, you have to push out that 2 inches here for the band and mark the 13. So that if the band comes, the crouch will not exceed 13. But if you mark 13 from here, by the time you put the band, it has gone to 15, 16, and which will be so saggy at the under crouch area. So these are the considerations you must make, right? So now, when you have gotten your crouch point, which is 10 for a normal crouch, a normal trouser, then you also need to get the knee point. Now, the knee measurement could be measured from the waistline. You get the person's knee point. But for the fact that we did not measure, and sometimes measurements can be a bit, you might forget it or maybe a bit deceptive. So the simplest way to get the knee point is measuring the crouch position, that from the crouch point, right, to the ankle line, which is the distance from here to here is 28. Divide by 2, that's 14, right? Come up by 3, that's 11. That is the formula to get the knee point. Measure from this point to the ankle line, 28, divide by 2, that's 14. Come up by 3, that's 11. So here is my knee position. Are we together? Yes. So now we have gotten our crouch depth and our knee line this way.
So for all knee, by
Yes,
3.
for all knee, yes, come up by 3, yes, for all knee. Divide the distance from the crouch to the ankle line, divide by 2, then come up by 3 to get your perfect knee position. Because in most cases, they will tell us that from the waist to knee is 21, 22, but my own is 23 because my leg is longer than my upper body. So those differences in body shapes will not make you to have exact of 21 always. Yours can be 22 and a half, can be 23. You get, because you have a longer leg than the upper area. So for you to get your perfect knee, measure your crouch position to the total length here. Divide by 2, come up by 3. You get the perfect knee position you want. So now, after that, connect the lines as shown this way. So once the lines are properly connected in this form, now the next thing to do is also get your hip point. Now your hip point is always 2 inches or 2.5 inches above the crouch line. So you mark your hip point 2 inches this way. Now bear in mind that this hip point does not really have much work to do here, but for teaching's sake, I want to bring out the lines so you know the lines that you are going to use for your drafting stages. So now here I have my waistline as the first line. I have my hip line. I have my crouch depth. I have my knee line, my ankle line, and my hem line. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And these 6 lines are not hard to get. The first one is your baseline, 2 inches for your hemming. From 2 inches, you put your trouser length. From here, you get your crouch by hips over 4 minus 1. You get this line. Then from here, measure the distance from here to the trouser length, divide by 2, come up by 3 to get your knee line. After that, divide by 2, come up by 3. After that, mark 2 inches above the crouch depth to get your hip position. So
you minus
2 inches. Just mark, come up by 2 inches here.
Okay,
to get your hip point.
No.
The crouch is 2 inches below the hip.
But if you don't need this line,
You can still leave it that way. You can just mark it on the line. So now you have gotten the lines. The next you will get now is to get the center line that demarcates this, right? Now, for you to get that, you divide your hip by 4. That is 44 by 4 is 11, right? 11. You mark 11 here, this way. Add extra what? 2 inches here. Then divide the total distance from here to here by 2 to get the center. So this is 11 plus 2, right? 13, Abi. So the middle is 6.5. Sure? Fine. 6.5. So you mark 6.5 here. So this 6.5 is what you will mark across this line. So you mark 6.5 all through this way. 6.5, 6.5 all through this way. Then connect the lines in this form. So this is what you will see or you will have. Connect the lines in this form. Connect the lines in this form. So still take it all through to the hip region. Connect the lines in this form as well. So when you get to this point, you connect it as well to the waist because we are making a female trouser. So here, this line is called the gradient line or the plumb line, Plumb, the plumb line, meaning the line that centralizes the measurements in equal parts. Are we together? Fine. Then after that, you now start to apply your measurements equally on both panels. Now, my knee is 16.5, right? Now 16.5, just say 17. Just say 17. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5, right? Now normally, you know that if this line wasn't here, you would have marked 8.5 from this edge, 8.5 this way, right? But because of this line is trying to centralize the whole measurement. So everything you are marking must be on both ends. So you have to divide this 8.5 into 2 again. So invariably, you're not dividing lap by 4 and also divide the ankle by 4 as well. So that it can be on both sides. But originally it's by 2. This line makes it by 4 now. Are we together? So now 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. Then by 2 again is 4.25. So you mark 4.25 here and mark 8.25 here. Mark 8.5 here. 4.25 and 8.5. That's 17, right? You mark 17 here this way. Now the next is the ankle. Ankle is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Then by 2 again is 3.5, right? So you mark 3.5 here. Mark 3.5 here, and then mark 7 here. See that it's now centralized at the middle of this line. Do you understand? Now the next is the waist. The waist is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8. Right? So it's 8.5. Sorry, 8 is 32. By 4 is 8. So add 8.5 is 34, yeah. Then it's 4.25 and 8.5. Right? So you mark 4.25 here and 8.5 here. Are we together? Then remember that you add 1 inch extra on the waist regions. If you remember in our markings, so that 1 inch will now be added backwards.
Not
this way.
this other side.
Yes. Now, alternatively, another way you can do this waistline to have it perfectly connected is simply to rule this line that is on the waist, whatever that you have here, measure it here. That's 11. Mark 11 on this waistline, which is closely, almost exact of that point. Mark 11 here. Connect this line as if you're making a rope trouser. The hip line, take it straight to the waistline. It goes in this form, right? Then mark your waistline from here backwards. Another way to do this on the waist area. So if that's the case, then from here, 8.5, which is here, and then plus extra 1 inch. You mark it backwards this way. Now, you already have come up by 2 inches again. No need to come up again by 2 inches. So you just have to make a curve here. So all you can do now is mark half an inch diagonal way this way, half an inch this way, and then slope the waistline by half. Please note, if I'm making a high waist trouser, there's no need to slope the waist. You're only going to slope. So now the next to do now is to connect it. So now the connection is going to come in this one. So you have to use a straight through ruler, then draw the line to go in this one. Draw the line as well to go in this one. Then I think I have seen one or two times some people ask question that the ankle should not be straight, but the ankle should be in a V-like shape form. Yes, it's true, but that method is when you are making something that is not straight here. So if you have used a straight ruler here to draw this line, you are meant to keep it straight, right? So if you're making the other method, you can still make it that way. It's still very much okay. If you want to make it this way or the other way around, there's no cause for alarm. But don't let it look like if you don't do it straight, maybe if you don't do it the other way, it will still work once your hands are straight enough. So now connect these lines as shown, then make sure you connect them in twos. Don't be in a haste to connect all of them at once. It won't work. Connect them in twos. Connect them in twos, right? This way. Connect them in twos. Connect this one to this very point this way. And then connect this as well from here to this very point. Connect here. Then this one will go the other way around. To accommodate the hip bulge and the lap bulge, you turn your curve the other way around. Connect them this way. Then fine tune the curve here. Don't allow here to be so bulgy or sunken, right? Make it to be synchronized as a normal shape. Then slope your waist point somewhere at the midpoint of the trouser this way. And then from that 2 inches that you have come up, take a pattern master and then connect with a perfect curve in this one. Connect this way, and this is all you have. Then the next to do as well is to put pockets. So pocket depth is 6.5 for the female, 6.5, and then width is 2.5 as well, 2.5. Then indicate your zip position. So zip is 6.5 as well, 6.5 for zip. So these are the areas you will, notch. So this is a typical example on how to cut or draft a perfect female trouser. So make sure you synchronize all of this, synchronize them, all of that, then cut from that line. So when cutting, make sure you also maintain the shape you have, right? Maintain the shape you have. To maintain the shape you have. So this is the perfect female trouser. So when you cut in this form, you also cut this other way as well. Please bear in mind that the stitching is the same. The sewing process is the same. The only thing different here is how to put zip. The zip of female, you pick the left panel of the front panel to fix your zip fly, but for female, you have to pick the right to fix your zip fly or zip flap, however you want to call it. So this is for the front panel. So let's draft the back. All right, so now we want to start marking or drafting the back panel. So now you just make sure you extend the line as shown, like place it the other way around, then bring your straight ruler, then connect, draw out the line to come out this way. Then mark extra 2 inches here for your hip extension, then 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through. The least you can add is 1.5, but I prefer to add 2 inches, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through, 2 inches all through the ankle, right? Now on the back, on the waist for the back, there is there is an adjustment you will make that will help the back waist not to gape. Gaping on back waist is simply by making the back waist to lap or to be if you want to make it to not to gape so that it will lap. So for the back not to gape, you have to do some adjustments. So what is that adjustment you are going to do? Now, if you observe the connection from the side line, continue the back waist, the sideways protrusion of the sides. Like this curve should continue in that form. Then once it continues, then you have to mark your waistline from that line to come inside, and the waistline is at the 4, which is 8.5. So from here, you mark 8.5 inches. Now remember that the back you normally add extra 1.5. So from here as well, mark extra 1.5. So this is the adjustment you make that you need to make for you to be able to do that. Then before you mark this as well, also remember that the hip will be cross-checked. Like you need to know where the hip measurement will fall so that you don't make it to be too tight on your customer. The hip was 44, which is 11. So you can just fling this over this way and cross check the hip. You can just leave half an inch here for the side joining. Then check the hip, which is 44, 11. Then extra 2 inches, right? So extra 1.5 or 2 inches. So from here, okay, the hip is here. So from here, you can just connect the back waistline in this form. So the back, we will now raise the back line. The hip is 44, right? 11. Okay, yeah, it's correct. So this is 12, 48. So it's okay there. So we raised here by 1.5 or 2. Right? Then connect it all through this way. So this is how the back west will look like. Like if the back west is adjusting backwards. The reason for this is to make sure that it doesn't give at the back. So you cut from here, this way. You can just add a half inch here in order to make it sit properly. And cut all through this way. Cut all through this way. How you cut your back panel. So make sure that your hip is properly covered. The hip measurement will be properly covered, right? It's still inside, so it's okay that way. So now you cut your crown. Just this method could go for English trouser, for scrubs, for combats, anything female. You can use this method to draft it. It will come out very well. Now in combat, the measurement is a bit bigger, so you just have to increase the measurements of your client on combat. Use the same procedure, the same steps, and draft it. It will come out well. Even on short, female short, if you have an ample of time, you can also use it as well to draft it and to still come out very well. So now this is how to draft it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.